Hey guys, it's Coach Tregs here, the founder of 30 Plus Men's Fitness. Hope you're all doing good. And today I'm joined by one of my awesome inner circle clients, Andre. Andre, great to have you here, mate. We thought that we would have a discussion for 25, 30 minutes, as you've been a client of mine since August 2023, and was really cooking on gas. But then 8 weeks ago, things got a little bit sticky, and you had to undergo some pretty major surgery. And your recovery and your mindset has been so awesome, like documenting everything, not just in the inner circle group, but in on your own Facebook page. You had a real kind of like can-do mentality. You didn't once complain. I said, look, we're gonna have to get you on to talk about it because I love talking about mindset with clients, and more, I'm meeting clients that are injured. They've got, health issues, and I always say, well, I'm working around all the time. I'm working around, and I think a lot of clients can get in a mindset of kind of like, oh, why me? I can't do this anymore. And it's my job to make them aware that, hey, probably 60% of my clients we're working around something. So I wanted to bring you on today, so you can talk about your journey. So
Thank you.
Andre, it's great to have you here. Thanks for joining me, buddy.
No, thank you. Thank you for giving me the time. And yeah, thank you for what you do in the inner circle.
It's my absolute pleasure. So look, let's go back to when you joined us. I want you to tell us a little bit about, because I think it was your friend Paul Burns. You saw his before and after. Paul's one of my original members, which got you to reach out and join the inner circle. So I just want you to go back to August 2023, talk about what made you kind of like decide to change, join us, and then that sort of journey which ensued.
Absolutely. So going back even further, I've actually gone on my own sort of healthy lifestyle sort of kick for the past sort of 6 years. And I'd had sort of some success, a lot of success with that actually. When I look at my pictures, but as things sort of carried on, things have been slipping gradually, and I think that was a combination of work, and because I was working longer hours, then the training would suffer a little bit. Maybe sort of not the best of food choices would then sort of kick back in. So some of the weight that I had lost originally had come back on. And it was around sort of that August time thinking, I actually just want to lose a little bit, maybe a few kilos here and there, but actually get into a good sort of mindset and good routine of actually training again. And so having seen Paul's journey with you, it was just the right opportunity to reach out.
Great stuff, mate. Great stuff. So um I've made some notes here before. So obviously you joined us in August 2023. We taught you all the protocols, etc., etc., and we got you kind of on this journey, which took you to over 7 kilogram loss, up to about March. And I think you're still going now, but we're going to talk about what happened. But you really started to fall in love with running, right? And it's like, I want people to know that 30 Plus Men's Fitness and the Inner Circle isn't a running group, but a lot of the guys in that group, myself included, are very passionate about running. And, for me, running, I always say it's not, it shouldn't necessarily be used as a vehicle for fat loss, because actually what led me into the fitness industry was I was a frustrated overweight runner because I didn't really know about any other forms of training, and I certainly didn't understand nutrition. However, when you do understand nutrition and other forms of training and the importance of sleep and lifestyle and all that kind of stuff, and you lose weight and you get healthier, running can be one of the most pleasurable experiences. And people watching this might be like, no way it's not. But let me tell you this, having gone out and tried running when I was like 95 kilos compared to now when I'm like 84 kilos, it's a whole different kettle of fish. And I know you started to see great results through the kind of like the nutrition and lifestyle protocols. And then you started to do running. And I think our job was to sort of say to you, hey, Andre, just go out and do a little bit further, dude. Like, I think it went from like, do 7.5, do 10. Go on.
Yeah, and it was that, and I think right at the very beginning I did, because I'd seen a lot about running, so I said I'd love to be able to do a 5K. I'd love to be able to do a park run, and you said that'll be no problem. And so we started in with the group, and the nutrition, it just reminded me of sort of the basics of sort of food prep. of making sure I knew what I was eating and when, and the water intake there and then. And my training was getting better, but what helped was you ran sort of the muscle up, or Kieran ran the muscle up sort of group, which I joined from the inner circle. And sort of the very first workout said do 20 minutes running to warm up, and I'm thinking, not a chance.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
the heck?
yeah.
And I sort of started sort of slowly with that, and I managed it, and I thought, okay. And then it was sort of a bit further, and it was just sort of that enjoyment, thinking, okay, I want to reach that 5K goal. And I think 4 weeks into that, it was set yourself a goal, sign up for a local park run, go and do that, which I did, and it wasn't the easiest of courses, but I really loved it. Got down in 35 minutes, and just checking in with the inner circle, it was a case of, again, you were pushing, sort of say, well, why don't you do a bit further, And so in November, I'd given myself a goal of, well, I want to run 10K. And I've signed up to do a 10K, and a 10K and an official 10K by the end of June. I thought, okay, that's a goal for me at that point. But then come the new year, I was so much into the running, I'd pushed beyond the 10K. We sort of chatted and said, well, actually, you said now you've done the 10K, what's next? So you push up to the 12K, push up to 15, and by the end of March, I'd sort of got up to just around about 17K running, which was great. And you can actually sort of tell the fitness, because the times come right down with all of that. So everything, I was just sort of buzzing, thinking, okay, yeah, here are things. And then obviously towards the end of March, everything sort of stopped dead in its tracks a little bit.
So we're going to talk about that next, but I think what you talked about there, I want to sort of go into that in a lot more
Yeah.
detail before we talk about what happened, because I've loved seeing your progression, and you always post up with the selfie afterwards, and you got your headphones, big smile, and I love seeing that. And all we did, and I do this with a lot of clients, and again, I want to tell people this is not about running. This is just about stretching in your head, first off, like what you're capable of. And then almost like James Clear says in Atomic Habits, like prove it, decide who you want to be, and then prove it to yourself with small daily wins. And your wins started with doing that warm-up run for 20 minutes, then doing a local 5K, then doing a 7.5, then 10. And it's like, sometimes I'll speak to clients and I'll say to them, why do you want to lose weight? Oh, I just want to lose weight. No. Let's go deeper. And you kind of peel back that onion, right? Just peel the onion, peel the onion, peel the onion. It's like, right, why do you want to lose weight? Well, actually, I'm getting out of breath walking up the stairs. Okay, cool. Right. So why are you worried about that? Well, I don't want to have a heart attack. Oh, okay, cool. Why don't you want to have a heart attack? Well, I got young kids. Oh, okay. So now we've got some real meaning as to why you don't want to lose weight. It's not like we don't lie awake at night going, I really need to lose a stone. We lie awake at night going, God, I wish I felt better in myself. I want to look good in my clothes. I want my wife to look at me differently again, and la la la. And so it was the same with yourself. It was like, hey, I've done 5K. It's like, you do 7.5. Go on. Just go on. Go a little deeper. See what you can. Just go a little further. Done 7.5. Do 10. Do 10. And it's almost like I said, when I speak to clients and I open them up, it was just pushing you to go that little bit further. And
Yeah.
it's amazing. I remember training for the Manchester Marathon. It didn't happen because of COVID. But when you start to train for like really long distance events, what you used to think was a long run is now not a long run. So like I used to think going out for a 10K is a long run. And then you start training for a marathon and you're like, oh, I'm at 10K, only another 15 to go of like my 25K run. But you get used to it. Because all it is just repetition. You're just going out, you got a little bit further, you get more comfortable with that. Okay, right, what next? And you literally went from a 20-minute warm-up run, 5K, 7.5, 10, 12.5, 15, 17. And this is what happens, folks,
Yeah.
like when you commit to something. And anyone watching this, that could be a walk. That could be you just walk a little bit further week on week, because you don't have to run. Or, You might only go to the gym for 20 minutes, but all of a sudden you're building that up to a 40-minute circuit, a 50-minute circuit. And again, this is what actually happens when you actually dedicate yourself to something. And rather than go, can't do that, is ask yourself, why can't I? Is all these stories that we tell ourselves, right? All these little stories that we tell ourselves, when actually we are all capable of so much more. And that's why when I interview clients, at first, I really like to go start really peeling it back, because once you really get to the core of why people want to change, and you can tap into that and put real emotion into it, is then when, you know, people will go on and achieve greatness. So we got into your mind. People like John Hillier in the group, 60 years old now, running marathons, absolute inspiration to us all, inspiration to me.
Yeah.
Being around people like that. We got Graham Fellows from Middlesbrough who come into the group, lost 5 stone, now does ultra marathons. Having that environment really kind of pushed you. So you got to 17K. We got to March. Then what happened?
And in March, I was actually at work. I was on a call, and I was sort of downstairs walking around. Always like to get my steps in if I can, sort of doing other things. And I suddenly felt a little twinge in my stomach, thinking, "Ooh, trapped wind, a bit of indigestion here, a little bit of discomfort," and just sort of thought nothing of it, thinking it will go. Went home, still felt it there, and then sort of I had sort of a pain in the stomach which just wasn't going away. It started to go in cycles, which then sort of I ended up sort of calling 111 just to sort of get advice, and the pain sort of got so bad that I had to get my wife to take me into A&E. And fortunately, I managed the journey into A&E sitting down. But by the time I got into A&E, I couldn't. The pain was so bad I couldn't actually sit down. So, yeah, and the doctors could see me. They could see I was in pain. They were trying to give me some pain relief. That wasn't what that caused me to vomit. They then said, well, we think it's suspected appendicitis, so we need to get you in, put you in for a CT scan, which they then did. So the Wednesday night, so 8 o'clock Wednesday night is when I walked through or staggered through A&E's doors, and obviously by 11:30 I was up on a ward awaiting to be taken for a CT scan. That actually happened about 2 o'clock in the morning. NHS absolutely brilliant with that, but I was absolutely in sort of agony. That CT scan said, right, okay, we can see a blockage in your bowel and a twist. And to me, I just didn't know sort of how serious that was. They said, we will need to operate. And I thought, okay, fine. Great in that mindset. I know what the problem is. That can be solved. It can be there with surgery. I probably spent most of that night where they couldn't give me sort of any morphine pain relief because it not been prescribed. It was only when the surgeons came up on the ward to say, put in the IV drip and morphine. He's going down for surgery. You just need to sort of make him comfortable. So early hours of the morning, I had that. I think I was second in the operating theatre at 8:30. But prior to that, I was getting all the consent forms to sign. And because I was sort of drugged up, it was then things were sort of slightly to sort of hit me. They were sort of saying, obviously the CT scan only shows what's there. We only know how bad things will be once we open up. So will we need to cut anything away? Will you need to go on a stoma? Well, what will happen? And it was only when I was signing away the consent to allow them to do anything else, it sort of hit me a little bit that this is actually serious, more serious than it was. But I still had my mindset, and I don't know what it was, but I was absolutely as calm as anything. Brilliant. I felt everything was there. And the one thing that they did say is that but there are risks with everything. But you are in really good physical condition, sort of going under. But even now, I don't think I appreciate how much of a major surgery it was, and that there could have been it could have gone completely the other way, and I might not be here speaking to you now.
Wow. Wow. So obviously you went down for the surgery, you've come to. I remember you posted in the inner circle group to say what you've been through. Um, what did the surgeon say when you come to, in terms of obviously how it went, if there was any
Yeah.
complications, and the kind of like what was the prognosis for the recovery?
Well, when when I came to, I initially looked down at my left hand in the recovery room, because they did say that they didn't know, obviously, with the drugs that they were needing to knock me out, they were saying we may need to put an IV drip into your left hand just to sort of add some more stuff in if it's needed. And I looked down and saw nothing's in there. Oh, that's a really good sign. And then the surgeon came through and said, "Yeah, welcome back." He said it was relatively straightforward. We've cleared the blockage. Everything was working fine. We've just untwisted and everything put back in place, and just sort of sewn everything up. Really good with that. So I spent a couple of days, obviously, back on the ward, probably first sort of 36 hours with a continuous morphine on tap, so having the button to sort of just top up if it was needed. But even at that point, they were saying you're not using it as much as others. It's really good how you seem to be controlling the pain. And once I got onto the ward, it was a case of, right, you're in bed. You can't, like, my watch was telling me, you've not moved. You've not you've not been doing any movement, and so saying we've noticed
Yeah.
a change in your activity. Well, yeah, I've been in bed, but then it was the small wins of on the Saturday night. Bear in mind, I've been in surgery on the Thursday, the Saturday night, to actually the first steps out of bed, to be able to walk to the bathroom there, to
Yeah.
actually have a shower, clean my teeth. And then on the Sunday, I got the all clear to go home. Sort of say, right, you've done everything you need to do here. Recovery would be, you can't lift anything heavy. You can do a little bit of walking, small distances, but just sort of take it really nice and easy. But again, everything else, it's in that you just got to really take it easy. And I remember walking out to the car, because we had a friend with us, and I said to my wife, I said, well, I said, I've got 3 months before this planned 10K. I said, I'm doing it. I said, I'm doing it. And she said, we'll see. I said, no, it's 3 months. Because I knew they'd sort of said, well, it'll be 6 weeks, 6 to 7, 8 weeks before you go for an outpatient's appointment. But at that point, you'll probably get the all clear then to be able to sort of start training quick. And I said, right, that means I've got another 4 weeks or so to this 10K. I'm going to do it.
Love that mindset. Love it.
I said the goal's changed. I said, even if I have to walk some of it, I'll do it. But I said, I said, I need that for me. I said, it's something I can work towards during my recovery.
Yeah.
And I said, I need to push things as much as I can. I won't compromise my recovery, but you've got to realize that for me, in my mindset, I said that's absolutely key. And we did have a heart to heart, because obviously she said, the reason I'm like I am is because I was worried I was going to lose you at that point. And I could understand from that. And I said, right, I know where you're coming from, but you understand where I'm coming from, and we'll do things. So on the first Tuesday when I was home, so bear in mind it's 5 days since the surgery. I said, right, okay, youngest will take the dog out. I said, come on, we'll do a walk. And it was, right, that's a 7,000 step day. uh, just do it, just doing that. And it was a slow walk. And she was saying, "No, you're doing too much." I said, "Well, I'm not feeling it in the stomach. We'll keep doing it." And then as I gradually sort of built up, I felt I could drive it after a couple of weeks. We did a test in the car. If my wife felt safe, then she'd allow me to go to the gym. It was just a change of environment, and it meant I could walk on the treadmill and sort of just build up the steps. And within that time, it was the treadmill work was walk. Okay, I'm going to try gentle jog for a few minutes. Walk, jog, walk, jog, walk, jog. And then it's got to a couple of weeks ago where I did start to run again. And this last weekend, I managed a 10K for the first time. I wasn't expecting it, but 51 days post surgery, I ran a 10K and I ran it under an hour. So
I was just looking, yeah. So you end of March, you had your op, and here we are now. It's the 20th of May today. On the weekend, you ran 10K. Incredible. So I want to ask you this, right? Because I meet a lot of people that get setbacks, okay? And I think setbacks are just part of life. I always say this, right? Whoever told you that life is easy was a liar, right? It's just like we're always going to get setbacks. Now, how did the setback affect your nutrition and other lifestyle protocols that we kind of put in place for you? Because I see people go to shit. They just go to pieces of like, oh, okay.
So right from the start, and actually this is something I'm really proud of. So outside of my work, so my hobbies, I play a brass instrument, I play the cornet, I play the drums. So music's a strong part, as well as enjoying going to the gym and running. And so when I initially sort of looked at it, everything that I love to do outside of that work environment for my sort of hobby was a no-go area for me. But I just sort of felt so thankful for being around. And it was a case of, well, no, I've got this goal to actually work towards at the end of June. I'm gonna attain that the best that I can. I will rest. I will do doctor's orders. But in terms of the nutrition, I've always ensured over the past number of years, and something I built up 6 years ago when I went on this journey, is to actually always buy sort of the food in that you know you're going to eat for the weekly shop, but then have a couple of times in a week where you might batch cook.
Yeah.
So you've got things already ready. And so I know that food, and it was a case of that doesn't need to change, because they didn't say I needed to change the anything with my diet. So it was a case of I could just carry on with that nutrition. What did happen was maybe some of the sweet potato that I would have had as some of the carbs. I'd taken some of the carbs out of my diet because I wasn't doing the training.
Yeah.
But again, water, once we're getting in, it's a case of, right, I'm there with the water. You can carry on with those things that you know that do work, because actually, as the old saying goes, if you've got your food and your water right, then you're on the right trajectory, because you can never out-train a poor diet.
No.
That's the game.
I think as well, like there's a saying, control the controllable. So, and I think, you know, sometimes I'll speak to clients and their life feels like they're spiraling out of control with whatever. It's like, right, what can you control here? So you couldn't train because, you know, you've just been through this surgery. What can you control? You can control what goes on your plate. You can control your getting decent sleep. You can control your hydration, and you know, you can play around with low intensity steps. And I think that's really important. And this is for irrespective if people have got injuries or what. I see people that will get some stress at work and then everything's just gone to shit. It's like, okay, right, stress is going to happen at work. Life's going to happen. What can we control? Because if there's something that you can control, that makes you feel empowered, right? It makes you feel empowered. It's like, when I went through my separation, which was totally amicable over the last 18 months. Me and my ex-partner were together yesterday, took the kids to football in Swansea, all good. But I was like, okay, this is happening. This is happening. It really is going to be a fucking lot of changes. What can I control? And for me, I was like, I can control my health. I can control my sleep. I can control my training. I can control my nutrition. I can control those things. Everything else, I'm going to have to learn to navigate through. But actually, if I can control that, it's going to put me in a lot better headspace. And I think for yourself, you could have just gone, oh, well, can't exercise now for 8 to 12 weeks. That's the 10K gone. Do you know what? I just eat crap, feel crap, consume crap. And it's all mindset. And that's what I've loved about your recovery, Andre, right? Is that, you know, you're always smiling anyway. I love your posts in the group. You brought so much to it. But the mindset, it's the mindset. Like, I look back to when we had the lockdown, right? Everyone was presented with like, right, we're all in this situation, right? And, you know, it's the same for everyone. We can't go here. We can't go to the gym. I saw people lose 4 stone during the lockdown. I saw people gain 4 stone during the lockdown. So it all comes down to, right, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And you've had that kind of can-do attitude, right? So we got about 5 minutes left before the time runs out on this Zoom.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about where you are right now and what advice you would give to anyone that's going through setbacks through injury or just life in general.
So where I am now is I'm probably a little bit lighter than I was in March, actually, with everything. So obviously, going through an operation, you do lose a few pounds because you're not sort of eating or drinking. A little bit that's come back on, but given I've not been able to train, I'm absolutely buzzing with that. You sort of keeping at that level, and I think for me it was just having that focus again. What can you do with that? What can you control? Because there are a number of things that within there you've got sort of put there. Can't do that. Can't do that, and they can't worry about that. And I think for me, it was obviously I'm absolutely grateful for the love and the care that I received, and from the medical team. And I'm here today to tell that tale, and I'm going to make the best of my life.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So it's May the 20th. What is Andre going to achieve for the remainder of 2024 in terms of his health and fitness goals? What's coming up, dude?
So I've got my 10K at the end of June. So I'm gonna love to do that. I'm buzzing to actually do that. It'll be sort of again, just keep sort of building up the distances slowly but surely. I'm going to be back at outpatients 28th of May, so just over a week, and then hopefully they can give me the all clear that I can start training more intensely, because I've not been able to do anything on the abs.
Any core,
no real strength.
Yeah, of course.
So I've still got to build up that, but that's the next thing, and then it's going to be a case of we'll move forward, and I'm going to I'm keeping up with the running, because again, being out with nature, getting that fresh air, the vitamin, it's amazing. So even if you do have the stresses with work, it's a case of, I've told my boss at times, is that actually I am not now. Training's a non-negotiable. That's got to be part of it, because you will get the best from me.
Best version of yourself. I try to tell this to people every day. And like, that's what exercise gives you. That's what getting out in nature gives you. It changes things. It's not selfish, because it's going to give people the best version of you. You know, for me, it's like, I want to be a happy dad in front of my kids. I want to be happy in front of my clients. So therefore, I'm going to have to go and do this, just like you're going to have to go and do this. Andre, I know, I'm just going to plant the seed now, because we've done it. There's a half marathon for you before the end of this year. I'm just putting it out there, dude. All right. And once John Hillier sees this, he'll be on your case as well. There's a half marathon for you before the end of 2024. I know it. But guys, look, before we sign off, I just want you to understand this, right? Like, Andre is 47 now, aren't you, mate? 47?
Yes.
47. I'm 45. We're not spring chickens anymore. And I think that people tend to pick up and put down their health around certain seasons. Like now it's May. People will be going on holiday in August. Oh, I better do something, right? Get out of the mindset of you better do something because you want to look good in your t-shirts or vests on holiday. Yes, we all want to feel like that. But this is about like what's going on internally, right? Because we're not spring chickens anymore. And one of the things that the surgeon said to Andre was, is if you weren't in the health and shape you were in, you like what, 75 kilos, 76 kilos, right?
Yeah.
You would have had issues. And this is the thing, guys, right? Stop just putting your health and fitness, pick it up, putting it down. Like, just make health and fitness a lifestyle. Whether you go running, whether you do Nordic walking, whether you go cycling, whatever it is, like move your ass, all said with love. Like really focus on decent nutrition, becoming hydrated, and don't like go, right, I'm going to do this for 4 weeks or 6 weeks. Like just make it part of you, because none of us know what's around the corner. Okay, none of us know what's around the corner. But I'll tell you what, if the shit does hit the fan, if you're healthy, right, whatever hits the fan, if you're healthy and you're fit, you're gonna have a fighting chance. I genuinely, hand on heart, believe that. I genuinely believe that people that are make their health and fitness a priority can deal with life way more easier than somebody that doesn't look after their health and fitness. And this is me, almost 18 years experience, the happiest, most the happiest people I've met are the ones that are working towards a health and fitness goal, but because they've got that ownership, they've got that sense of control. I've worked with many, many, many miserable millionaires, many of them, in fact, a few this year, who told me that they sacrificed their health for wealth, financial wealth. And actually, if they could go back 30 years, they wouldn't have sacrificed their health. They wouldn't have sacrificed their family time in order to chase what they perceived was success. Yes, you want, I'm going to a monologue now. Yes, you want nice things. Yes, we want nice holidays and all that. I want all those things. But I learned a long time ago, I'm not going to sacrifice my health, my mental well-being for that. It's all about that balance. Okay, guys. So Andre, listen, mate, thank you so much for coming on. We're going to end this soon. I'm going to get it onto YouTube. We're going to push it out there. Keep being you, mate. You're a valued member. You've been
Thank
through
you.
a lot. And I just love seeing every time you pop up, I'm like, how far's he done? Oh, how far's he done? And you're only 4K off the half marathon, my friend. All right.
Yeah,
So,
they'll
Andre,
get that.
thank you so much, my friend. I'm going to end this recording now. We'll have a little
Thank you.
debrief. Guys, thank you for watching. If you like this, just leave a comment. And if you need any help, I always say this, I'm really easy to find. So I'm going to end this recording now.